Welcome to day 6 of 30 Takes in 30 Days, the NBA season preview series going from the worst to the best of the upcoming NBA season. I said at the end of the Charlotte video this morning that I wasn't sure which team would become the focus today until time of publication. It's basically a live ladder from 25 to 1, so hold on to your hope, NBA fans. Your team could still be number 1. Well, unless you're a Jazz fan, because I'm talking about them today. And for Utah this season, while I'm not sure who they're going to play at small forward, the Jazz are running it back one more time from the top. Entering year 3 of what has been a rebuild gone maybe a little too well, Jordan Clarkson is now the only remaining member of the squad that last made the playoffs in 2022. The Jazz are still sorting through the wheelbarrow of assets that they received in return for Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, which will keep their roster replenished with multiple Cavs and T-Wolves first-round picks between now and the 2029 draft. So it'd be no surprise if the Jazz kicked back for the rest of the decade and threw 5 jerseys into the crowd every night to see who wants to go out and do some cardio, especially this season when they had Minnesota's first-round pick, Cleveland's first-round pick, and their own pick if it falls in the top 10. But while Gobert was given to the Timberwolves, dumbest of all front offices, and Mitchell to the Cavs in their Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, and 9+1 picks were gifted to Utah and Danny Ainge, who, above all, desires another championship. And they were all deceived because Danny took those picks, and deep in the land of Utah, in the fires of Delta Center, he's forging a new contender where into it Danny is pouring his competitiveness, his elitism, and his will to dominate the entire NBA. One contender to rule them all. Let you in on an NBA nerd secret. The Jazz are already really good, and sorry to bury the lead, here's the take for today. The Jazz are closer to a championship than Minnesota or Cleveland. Reasons? I'm keeping them secret and keeping them safe. Sure, this series is partly designed to encourage the NRL portion of my audience to watch the NBA, but I'm going to gatekeep the Jazz. This team is for the league pass sickos, the ones who nod knowingly at the mention of Will Hardy's name, and, anyway, by the time that they're on top of the West before the end of the decade, it will all be so obvious anyway. If this all goes well, they're going to end up the fastest and most three-happy team in NBA history. I also wanted to make that big Lord of the Rings reference and have to yap up the NRL prelim tonight, so I'm sorry for time restrictions. I had to make 2 videos about Kevy being fired. But here's what I'll be looking for out of the Jazz this season. Is Cody Williams, J-Dub's brother, a capable enough wing to break the starting 5 by the end of the year? Can Keontae George bring his 3-point shooting closer to 40% from deep? Who's point guard between him and the young bull, the most competitive player in the league? And when will Colin Sexton be recognized as an elite level role player? Is Kyle Filipowski safe? What can Patty Mills teach these young guards about good, honest Aussie ticker? And when will Danny Ainge enter the battlefield riding on the shoulders of the finisher, Lauri Markkanen? So that's kind of the Jazz. I love this team, but they're not fully forged. Come back in a few years and check them out again. Come back tomorrow for day 7 and a full-length video.